Okay, how's it going, everyone? This is my tail so far. I am following the tutorial by Nefertiti. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Nefertiti? Nefertete? It's not Nefertiti. So yeah. So I'm following her tutorial. I watched a bunch of her tail tutorials, and the one that I'm following is the shark one. Now, I don't want to make a shark tail, obviously, because my furry is kind of like a demon thing and or a dragon, which means it's not supposed to be a shark tail. So I cut out a piece so far on 3-inch foam. This is the paper that I traced out. I traced out the tail so many different times, and I'm not really sure how I feel about this shape. Yeah, I feel like the tail is pretty easy to do. It's just making sure you got the shape right, because I didn't download any cutouts or any, I kind of just had to eyeball it and draw out the tail myself. So it will look like that. I have like a curve like around there because I want it to like curve around my butt cheeks. Cause I'm gonna be using a belt to hold on this tail, and I don't want the tail to be like coming off like that. I want it to actually be like almost like a Godzilla tail. I feel like that's what I feel like I want. A tail that almost touches the ground, but it doesn't, but it's still pretty fat. I would like to have a tail that would curve up like a husky tail, but I don't know how you can do that with foam. And it would, the bottom portion right here, I might trim it just a little. Obviously I need to fatten up the tail and make it more organic looking, but so I added a few more layers. Nefertiti just had a 3-inch core and then 2 inches on the side, but I decided to add 1 more inch layer on the side. And so now the tail is kind of much more like a Godzilla tail. But I don't know, I feel like it might be a little bit too big. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it will be too thick, but when I shave it down, a lot of the layers I think won't be so thick anymore. And then I also got to add spikes. I'm gonna add spikes to it. Okay, I'm just about done with carving the thing, the tail. I think it looks pretty good so far. And there's such a huge mess right now. It makes the Christmas tree look ugly. Yeah, it's pretty, you know, when I carved out all of the foam for this, I thought it was bigger than my tail thing. And now that I've shaved it down, it's like exactly the same size. It's so funny and weird, but because like the first part I had 9 inches, right? So this first section right here was about 9 inches, then 7 inches, 5 inches, and then 3 inches. I don't know, I feel like I could carve it down and make it look even nicer, but I'm not really too concerned. But the one thing that I still need to do that I'm kind of worried about is putting holes in here for the belt. And I don't know how I'm going to drill down a hole. I don't even have a drill. I mean, I guess I could use my bread cutter, but my bread cutter doesn't have a sharp edge in the front. It's curved like normal. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. This feels almost like a giant sword, you know, because it's like, whoa, whoa. I feel like I need to shape it down just a little bit more, because if you look down this, you can see like, maybe a little bit of this right side needs to be shaved, and then a little bit on this left side right here needs to be shaved, and you know, but it's pretty much about done. But the one thing is, when I do add spikes to it all along down here, right? So I'm going to add a big spike here, and then a smaller spike, and then a smaller, and then a smaller. Also, I just want to say, I'm still doing a few touch-up trims, but oh my god, doing this with your hand, like, for 2 hours, it kills it. Like, you can see the marks of how, like where the handle digs into my fingers. It's like, oh, I'm dying. Help. Love to use this, but I can't use such a blunt instrument for such fine detail. I don't know, I need one of those scissors that has a spring in here, but I don't have one. So yeah, it's been kind of a struggle. It hurts a lot. And then another thing that Nefertiti did in her video was that she would make cuts down so that when you put your tail on, you can kind of like wag it from side to side. I don't think I'm gonna do that because I don't know, I just don't feel like it, and I want it to stay sturdy. I finally put on my tail with the belt. Please excuse this terrible combination of a shirt and basketball shorts with a belt. But I mean, it's black, so you can't really see it. But yeah, I'm wearing the tail. Thinking about how I feel about it, I think it looks pretty good. I like how it's kind of a Godzilla tail. I still need to add the spikes to it. Shake that ass. Shake that ass. Okay, so here's a quick little update. I put on all of the spikes with the orange fabric, and this took me a day to do. And now I'm going to cut out the rest of the fabric and sew that. Again, I still haven't learned how to use the sewing machine, so this is gonna take a while. I'm so tired right now. I've been sewing for the past 4 hours or so. I finally finished sewing the entire tail. I did it all in one day. And I'm just so exhausted. My back is killing me. I just want to talk about the stitching a little bit. So I made the stitching wider than I normally do. Otherwise, it would have taken me forever. So I made like these really long stitches, if you can see. Yeah, like really, like one stitch, another stitch, another stitch. Yeah, I feel like the only mistake I made was like, so I have like these orange stripes, right? This side is actually pretty good because I had it meet at the end nicely. But on this side, it got a little shaky. It got a little weird. So it looks so beautiful too. I love black, white, and orange. What a great combination of colors. And I think it matches my sweatshirt too. I got an orange. This says Art Bleeds Money. It's IMX merch, which IMX is my favorite band. You should definitely check them out. One of their albums, which is like an extension album, it's called Everything is Burning, and it's like black, white, and orange. There we go. Got this. Let's put it on. These spikes are causing me a little bit of trouble, and I'm afraid to force it. Oh, come on. Fit on there, please. Like, we don't have time for this. It's like putting on a pillowcase or making my bed. God. Ugh, I hate doing that kind of work. So boring and so tedious. You know, making fursuits is really fun, but man, some of it can be so tedious and so agonizingly boring. Ugh, like, come on, like, just get on the foam. There's a little bit of tension here. Hopefully I can straighten this out. Oh yeah, I'm also watching Lord of the Rings right now. I finished The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies, like an hour ago. And that's when I started sewing. So I sewed for the entire Battle of the Five Armies. Now I'm watching Lord of the Rings, the extended edition. And I'm at the part where the elf is being chased by all of the hooded ring wraith people. And finally make this last. Thank God the spikes are made of foam, or else it would have been impossible to put this on. It's a little tight. Oh, it's so tight. It's actually tight. Man, the holes for the belt are pretty close. It's a little bit off, but that's okay. That's where I think I'll just super glue it. Well, not super glue, hot glue, whatever. So my tail is pretty much complete. All I have to do is glue it, but let's test it out, shall we? Here's my tail. The small spike fell off, so anyway, so because I haven't glued it yet, but yeah. You know, the only thing I'll say about the tail that's really concerning is that there's a lot of tension where the belt goes through the tail. Like, I'm kind of worried it's gonna rip or snap because this tail is pretty heavy. Instead of using foam, I would stuff it with stuffing stuff. But oh well, you know, this is what we got to work with. Shake that ass. Do, do, do. Okay, so I'm working on the wings now that I finished the tail. And so Nefertiti at the very beginning, also saying her name still makes me self-conscious because I don't know if I'm saying it right, but she says to make the wing kind of bendy to give it more of a wing illusion. I'm not making a bendy wing. My wing it's just gonna be a regular old bat wing without any of that curvature. So hopefully it turns out pretty good. Okay, so I cut out my bat wing. I also flipped the claw to make it go this way, because that's actually how bat wings work. Like when the claw comes out, it actually goes that way. And when it was the other way, it did look a little weird. I was like, huh, that doesn't look right. But then I flipped it around. It's like, okay, that looks good. So yeah, I cut it out and I'm about to cut out the foam for it. 2 foam pieces for the wings. And then I also used this other foam to make the skeleton part of the wings because they are going to be bat wings. I'm still wondering if I should have 2 layers like that, or if I should just have 1 layer like this. I'm gonna make this part orange, this part black. That looks nice. But if we were to flip them to the back side, I don't know, would we want to see that skeleton thing, right? Would we want this orange and black, or would we just want the whole backside to be black? That's something that I'm still trying to figure out. I added the skeleton part to them. I think they look pretty cool. They're pretty exciting. I wanted the skeleton part to kind of stand out, right? But the skeleton part is very thin. And so if I'm not careful, I could break these wings really easily. Like if I'm wearing my fursuit and I like fall over and I crush the wing, it's done. Like broken wings forever. So I need to be really careful. I'm starting to sew it together. I sewed this piece so far, and now I'm just sewing the rest of this. I feel like it's gonna take forever. Here's the back side for the wings. This is, yeah, this goes on the back, and then, yeah. I decided to leave the wings pretty furry though. I didn't shave, or the back of the wings, I didn't shave them, but yeah, for this front part, I'm starting to sew it, and I feel like it's gonna take pretty long. To sew this one piece right here onto this piece, it probably took like 15 minutes, so it'll probably take, I don't know, let's see, 15, 30, 45, and then for this side, another 45 minutes, so that would be an hour and 30. And then I'd have to sew the back side. I think that would take like another 2 hours. So I think this will take me 4 hours to sew. So I got some bad news. So I sewed one wing together. So it's totally sewed, except for this little section right here. But and I put it onto the foam part. What's unfortunate is that it's a little bit too heavy, right? It can't support the weight because it's too light right here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. The wing looks, or the wings look very cool. I just feel like I just wish I built it much more stronger. I finished sewing both of the wings, and I put the wings on, and I solved the droopy issue. All I did was just add a little bit more gray foam underneath, and I added a few more elastics. I feel like the elastics don't really do anything, but I don't know. I'm doing what I can to make it work. Since I added more gray foam, it is a little unfortunate because you can probably see like a little bump right there, but I don't know, the faux fur itself is already so thick that it kind of hides the bump and it doesn't really matter. I don't know, I feel like these wings are gonna break one day. I'm gonna have broken wings pretty soon. I'll be a month in wearing them and I'll be at like a convention or something and they'll just snap, and then, you know, I'll be a dragon that lost his ability to fly, and that will be a sad day. Yeah, I'll need to add more faux fur left, and then I'll need to do the horns, but the horns will be pretty easy. That shouldn't be too bad, and then I'll finally be done. Okay, how's it going, everyone? So it's a total mess right now, and I feel like I'm finally done with all of the stuff. So I added some lining, some black lining to those so they look a lot better. I finished the wings. The wings are over there. I finished the tail. For the tail, I added more of that. I don't even know what this stuff is called. What is this called? Do you guys know what that is? I have no idea. But I am so glad to be done. Holy frickin' frick. I spent literally 5 hours. 5 whole hours finishing all of this, and now it's a mess. So we got the wings, little wingies. Here's the back. There we go. And we got the tail. So, really great. I am so happy to finally be done with these pieces. And yeah, all that's left is the full bodysuit, which I don't know how long that's going to take me. I feel like that is the most intimidating and will probably be the hardest thing that I have to do for my fursuit. But other than that, with just the tail, the wings, the feet, and the paws and the head, you know, that's like 80% complete. My fursona is coming together. My demon transformation is almost to an end. Okay, it's all clean now. All nice and vacuumed. Isn't that really exciting? Super exciting stuff. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to try on the stuff. I still gotta take a shower though.